Hey guys, Phil here at Woods Tree Farm. I made a little discovery today. If you saw my last video, I shared a little issue that I had with the splitter. I just couldn't get it running. I didn't know specifically what the issue was. I thought it might be bad fuel, and that still is a theory, or at least part of the problem. But I uncovered something else today, so stick around, I'll tell you what I found. So what I uncovered with the splitter here is that I think because I leave my splitter out in the weather, and hopefully in 2021 that will change. We'll have some sort of building or shelter or something where we can put all of our equipment. But for now, yes, all of our equipment is out in the weather. And I think the issue I'm having is directly related to that. So what I was able to do, I drained the carburetor, which is, right under here. There is a bolt right there that you can remove and drain the carburetor bowl. And when I did that, it didn't have much smell at all. In fact, it just seemed like water, or it seemed like very watery fuel. So I assumed that it was probably old fuel and that was the issue, but there's actually some water in there. And I know that because when I was here last week and I drained it, I let fuel from the tank run back in there, and I tried to start it again and it wouldn't start. And then I drained it again, and then I turned everything, I closed the valve and I left it for the week. But we got rain this week, and I came back and there was water in the bowl again. So here's what I think is the issue. The air filter is up here, and if you look right there, it looks like there's a little bit of a lip here, and I think that's supposed to prevent water from getting down in there. But there was obvious signs that water is actually getting in through the air filter and then running down into the carburetor. As soon as I take this off, and of course now you can't really tell, but when I first took this off a little while ago, and I've since run the splitter just a little bit, there was a wet mark all around here. So I could tell that water was getting down in here, and there was a bunch of wetness on this filter material right here. Then down inside the filter, once I had this removed, I could see down in there. In fact, you can still kind of see, as I couldn't get a rag down in there, but there's a little bit of water residue down inside of there, and there was quite a bit of water when I first got here. So I drained the carburetor, I stuck a rag down in there as far as I could get it, and then I put fresh fuel in the tank. I opened the fuel shutoff valve, I let the carburetor fill with fresh fuel, and I left the drain off for a little while, and I just let fuel kind of run through it for, I don't know, 60 seconds or 90 seconds or so, and just let it run. So if there was any water in the lines or in this plastic housing or in the top of the carburetor, I was thinking all of that should have run through. So that's what I did, and I think, like I said, this is just a symptom of us leaving this out in the weather, and I'm going to at least start tarping this so that this doesn't continue to happen. But as soon as I got fresh fuel in there and I got any evidence of water out of there, the splitter fired right up, and I was able to split that little bucket full of wood right there. So all in all, success. Well, I wanted to share that with you, something that I learned, because my splitter videos have been pretty popular. I don't even know how many views at this point, but there's been a couple of them. When I first got the splitter, when I did an overview of it, and when I found another little problem with the auto return, both those videos have been pretty popular. If you missed those, I'll put links to each of those in the description below. But if you have one of these Champion splitters, or maybe other brands do the same thing, that is going to be a hazard, I think, if you leave it out in the weather. That there's going to be moisture, there's going to be water that's going to get down in the air filter, and it's going to get down the carburetor, and then you're not going to be able to start it. So keep it under at least a tarp, I think, is probably the way to go. And if you can't keep it under a tarp, put it under a building, or under a shelter, in a building, in a shed, in a garage, something like that. So thanks for following along today, guys. I know it's a pretty quick little video for me. Usually my videos are at least 10 minutes long, but today's gonna be a little shorter. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this one, if you learned something, hit the like button. And until next time, see you on the next video. Hope you guys have a good one. Bye-bye.